Hello and welcome to News on AAU TV. I am Bridget Amadente. The headlines: application of distance learning technologies amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Life after COVID-19. And Harvard professor wants to ban homeschooling because it's authoritarian. Now the news in details. The National Accreditation Board has observed the application of various technologies by some tertiary education institutions in Ghana to offer uninterrupted educational services to their students by distance learning in order not to disrupt their academic calendar as a result of COVID-19 scare and its related lockdown. While some institutions are well equipped with appropriate ICT infrastructure for the proper deployment of some of these technologies on the onset of the pandemic, others are not. It, however, directs that all introduced alternative delivery and assessment approaches should observe the following basic quality assurance principles, such as the technology employed in offering academic instruction must be appropriate, available, accessible, affordable, and user-friendly. The technology should be adequate for effective teaching and learning. Also, where distance learning assessment approaches are to be employed for the assessment of students, the identity of the candidate taking the examination must be established to be the same as the one used for course registration. The board, however, directs that all tertiary educational institutions should furnish it with the institution's COVID-19 containment strategy, including institutional preparedness to operate in the face of the pandemic in the short, medium, and long term by May 15, 2020. Moving on, life after COVID-19. There's no doubt that the wide-reaching impact that COVID-19 pandemic has had on individuals, families, businesses, the global economy, and social structure. However, history continues to demonstrate that the human populace is an extremely adaptive and will eventually reach some sort of recovery from this pandemic. This recovery will not be everything back to normal pre-COVID-19 days. It will be a new way of living and working and social interaction. Post-COVID-19 recovery will be defined by lessons learned and prioritization of the most important aspects of human motivation. Although there are no clear answers or timelines of what and when the pandemic will be over, what we can be sure of is that the return to normalcy will be slow and gradual. Many academic institutions will realize that the bulk of learning can happen online. As a result, campuses will become less crowded, thus being able to support more students. Restaurants, theaters, airplanes, and other public transport system and education will not be the same after COVID-19. On the international front, Harvard professor wants to ban homeschooling because it's authoritarian. A Harvard University law professor has sparked controversy after calling for a ban on homeschooling. Elizabeth Bartholet told the press that it gives parents authoritarian control over their kids and can even expose them to white supremacy and misogyny. The issue is, do we think that parents should have 24/7 essential authoritarian control over their children from age 0 to 18? I think that's dangerous, Elizabeth said. I think it's always dangerous to put powerful people in charge of the powerless and to give the powerful ones the total authority. Elizabeth's comments were met with backlash from homeschooling parents who said she unfairly stereotyped the practice. Roughly 4% of American children are now educated outside of the public or private school system. Erin O'Donnell asserts that 90% of homeschool parents are conservative Christians, according to survey. Elizabeth again asserted that some parents are extremely religious ideologues who question science and promote female submission and white supremacy. Banning the practice would impact parents fleeing a system of education that they find harmful to their children, she said. That's all for the news. Thanks for staying tuned, and please remember to wash your hands under running water and soap. Keep watching AAU TV. I am Bridget Amadente.